Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
It is absolutely amazing. I mean, we recently had on this episode the CEO of Nerd Wallet, takes $800 investment, turns in over $100 million revenue. And we just had on the founder of Big Ass Fans. My God, he sells the company for $500 million. I'm so excited, by the way, with our next hero that I have the opportunity to introduce. And by the way, too, thank you, too, for the feedback we got from having Josh Cartu on from Cartu Racing, Ferrari Club International President. You can go and see past segments at Eliances.com, Eliances.com. It is the only place where entrepreneurs align. I'm kind of shaken about interviewing our next hero because this guy drives fast, really fast, and does some of the most amazing stunts ever. And guess what? They're captured on film. He's had over 29 productions with a combined worldwide gross of over $9.1 billion in tons of movies that we've all seen, including Captain Marvel, Baby Driver, First Man, Ant-Man. It just keeps going on. And of course, the latest movie, Ford versus Ferrari. We have with us Robert Nagle. All right, Robert, steal the thunder of what your position and what your career is, because nobody would believe me.
I'm very fortunate in getting to do what I do, and Ford versus Ferrari was quite a project, and a lot of people worked very hard on it, and I think it shows.
You are the stunt driver and the coordinator for this stuff. I mean, you do the most dangerous stuff. How do you do it?
There's a lot of planning that goes behind everything you see. There's, nothing is sort of happenstance. I mean, there's a lot of choreography and planning and figuring out all the what ifs that could go wrong. Do the best you can to circumvent that and mitigate any injuries, and off we go. And let's make it exciting.
Now, when I went to college, they didn't have a class to do this. So, how did you learn?
How did I learn? Well, I come from the racing world and been working in this business for about 25 years, and the cumulative knowledge and working with some great directors like James Mangold, you start to learn, pick up little things here and there and perfect your craft.
Now, when you are planning this, I don't think, most people, if they're not in the industry, they have no clue of how much work goes into it. How much pre-planning to do how long of a scene that we actually see? What's that like?
I mean, it's hard to break it down that way. What I think the most comprehensive way I can give it to you and your audience is that, typically speaking, for every day we spend filming turns into 1 minute worth of screen time.
Unbelievable. That's a long, that's a long time. But you know what? When we see it on the movies, it looks absolutely perfect and stuff. Have you ever broken a bone doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate, David. I broke my thumb doing a NASCAR sprint commercial. Other than that, just sort of accumulative injuries, from wrecking cars and whatnot.
And you've also done other movies like, again, Captain America, Civil War, and Mission Impossible. The list just goes on. The John Wick movies, Spider-Man. From all of these experiences, do you learn something new each time you work on a movie?
Yeah, I always try and walk away learning something, and paying attention to the director's vision. You really do need to walk away with a new experience and a new perspective, and I think that just adds more and more to my ability.
And again, we're talking with Robert Nagle, Hollywood stunt driver and coordinator. His movies have done worldwide gross of over $9.1 billion. He is the most sought-after stunt driver. You can see the link to the Ford versus Ferrari movie by going to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Robert, what's your favorite car?
One I don't have to pay for?
I mean, with all the stunts that you're doing and stuff and the movies that you've been in, is there a particular scene that stands out the most that you're like, you know what? This is one of my most memorable moments.
I don't know if there's a moment. I mean, it becomes a series of events. I mean, the racing sequences in Ford Ferrari, to the car chases from Baby Driver. There's no one particular moment. It's just how everything comes together, and as long as it comes together correctly, it looks fantastic on film and on the screen.
A lot of people, though, may think, well, wait, this is all done with digital and with all the computers and everything. We have all this technology. Is it real?
It's absolutely real. And your eye can tell the difference when it's not real. There's always something that just doesn't seem right. So I've always been a big fan of there is a marriage of the two, meaning that as long as the practical stunt is real, you can play around with the peripheral and manipulate that a little bit with CG to enhance it, and that seems to work. But as soon as your principal subject is CG, I think for me at least, it takes you out of the story because there's just something not right about it.
And do you also have to train some of the actors that are in the movie?
I do, and we spent quite a bit of time training Christian for this, preparing him as a race car driver and getting him the mindset and the skill set to do some of the driving. He did an amazing job.
Is this what you wanted to be when you were growing up?
I couldn't say that. I knew I'd always be involved somehow with cars and or making things go fast. So here I am.
I mean, it's amazing what you're doing in that, but share some of the secrets for others that are out there that would like to get into perhaps the stunt industry itself or really become successful like you have in your craft, because you have literally mastered your craft. That's why you're the most sought after from all these, first run movies that are phenomenal. And of course, the latest one, Ford versus Ferrari. So share with us some of that secrets.
Well, I mean, part of getting it's a tough industry. You need to have some thick skin to continue on in it. But it's about building relationships. That's really the biggest thing moving forward. And then for me, like I said earlier, I'm always constantly trying to learn other perspectives and other crafts to be able to apply that to my own craft. And I think that served me well, and just really pay attention to what the director is asking for.
Robert, scariest stunt you had to coordinate or do? Besides the commercial.
Probably most recently, with Ford Ferrari, there's two scenes. One doesn't look so precarious, but there were times where we were filming the Mulsanne Straight, and we were running the cars at 180, 185 miles an hour. And that can be a little precarious, but it doesn't look so much on film. But there's a wreck in particular at the beginning of Le Mans where we launch a car about 300 feet, so it's cartwheeling next to the camera car. And that took a lot of timing and precision to get that right. And the camera car was built and reinforced by the special effects guys to handle a big impact. And on our second take, the car that we launched righted itself and T-boned the camera car, and it hit him pretty hard and shoved him into a concrete wall. But, testament to everybody's hard work. He was fine. Rung his bell pretty good, but he was fine. But that was a bit of a white knuckler. There was a lot going on and a lot of pieces to that puzzle.
Again, what you do in the craft, and you've got the unique niche. When you go and you watch this movie after it was fully completed and stuff, and you had worked on it, you did all the coordination, the stunt driving, and that. What was going through your mind is the final production? It's on the big screen, and you're there watching it. The process of getting everything done, it just becomes. It's an arduous task, and it's long hours, and it starts to become a bit of a blur. But to finally see it come together and to fruition on the screen is super satisfying, especially when you get to see it with an audience and you get their reactions, and it's a pretty great feeling. Well, fantastic. Well, I can't wait for you and I to go for a ride after this interview. It's awesome.
Let's go.
All right. Well, Robert, you work in high-risk, high payoff art to entertain so many. Your work is absolutely incredible. That's a hero, Robert Nagle, Hollywood stunt driver and coordinator. You can see his work in the latest movie, Ford vs. Ferrari. Make sure you go to Eliances.com and you'll see the link there, Eliances.com. This has been David Kogan with Eliances.